Sir Fredrick Edward Kabaka Mutesa II was the 35th king of the Buganda Kingdom and the first president of Uganda. Back then, the Buganda Kingdom had one of the most stable and highly developed government in the south of the Sahara. He was born in Makindye, Kampala, on November 19, 1924, at the home of Dr. Albert Cook, who was a British missionary stationed in Uganda. He was educated at King's College Budo, a prestigious school in Uganda. He later joined Magdalene College, Cambridge, where he studied history, economics, and law. His father, Daudi Swart II, died on November 22, 1939, while he was only 15 years old. Just 3 years after the death of his father, in November 1942, Mutesa was crowned as the king of the Buganda Kingdom on his 18th birthday. During this period, the British were considering uniting Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania into a federation. However, this was greatly opposed by the young king, who feared the Buganda Kingdom losing its autonomy and its people being subjected to the ruthlessness of Kenya's white settlers. The British colonial government soon began seeing him as a barrier to their plans, and to get rid of him temporarily, the governor of Uganda, Sir Andrew Cohen, convinced him to take up studies at Magdalene College, University of Cambridge, where he studied history, economics, and law. In the summer of 1947, while studying in Britain, King George V commissioned him as a captain in the elite British Army's Grenadier Guards. When coming back from Britain, Kabaka Mutesa was better educated and even more militant. In 1953, he attained international prominence when he opposed the development of Uganda as a unitary state and wanted Bugandan Kingdom to remain a separate state to be given separate independence within a fixed time. When he proved difficult to contain, the governor of Uganda, Sir Andrew Cohen, exiled him to Britain on October 30, 1953. The British then tried to run Buganda through a regency but were faced with extreme protests from the Baganda people. Twice, the British were forced to impose a state of emergency on the kingdom. Kabaka Mutesa was allowed to return to Uganda on October 7, 1955, following the Buganda Agreement of 1955. This fixed Buganda as a province of Uganda, which made the king of Buganda a constitutional monarch with no executive powers. In 1962, when Uganda gained independence, Kabaka Mutesa, under the monarchist Kabaka Yeka Party, formed a coalition with Milton Obote's Uganda's People Congress Party. In 1963, Kabaka Mutesa was named the first president of Uganda, then in a non-executive position, with Milton Obote as the prime minister. In the country's new constitution, Buganda Kingdom became a semi-autonomous part of a new Ugandan federation. However, in 1964, Mutesa's alliance with Obote collapsed, and in 1966, things worsened. In February 1966, Obote suspended the federal constitution and declared himself president of Uganda and the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. This automatically eliminated Kabaka Mutesa's position as the president, but he remained as the king of the Buganda Kingdom. Kabaka Mutesa was stern and reacted by ordering Uganda's central government under Milton Obote to move out of Kampala within 2 weeks, since the capital belonged to the Baganda people. 4 days later, on May 24, 1966, Obote responded by sending troops loyal to him, which launched an assault on the royal residence of Kabaka Mutesa. In charge of the assault was Obote's army commander, Colonel Idi Amin. Luckily, Mutesa escaped to Bujumbura, Burundi on foot, and later flew to the United Kingdom. In the UK, things were not easy for the African king, as he lived in a poor South London neighborhood of South Bermondsey. Poverty had already started taking its toll on Mutesa, who mostly lived at the mercy of his friends. He was denied access to his bank accounts in Uganda under the orders of the then President Milton Obote. Despite having studied at the University of Cambridge, the British couldn't offer Mutesa a job for fear of annoying Obote, whom they had now turned to protect their interest in Uganda. Sadly, King Mutesa collapsed and died on 21 November 1969 at his London flat, number 28, Orchard House in Rotherhithe, England. The cause of his death was ruled out to be alcohol poisoning. Even though the Metropolitan Police had identified his death as suicide, many believed that he had been assassinated by Obote's agents. According to the autopsy report, the cause of his death was acute alcohol poisoning. The pathologist also said that an alcohol level of 380 milligrams in Kabaka's blood was lethal. Hours before his death, Kabaka Mutesa was interviewed by British journalist John Simpson, who found that he was sober and in good spirits. Mutesa's body was first buried at Kensal Green Cemetery in North London, but later exhumed in 1971 and flown to Uganda to be given a state funeral under the orders of Idi Amin after he had overthrown Milton Obote. Thank you for watching. If you find the video interesting, kindly like, share, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more amazing stories about the African continent.